You are listening to the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast with Amanda Karlstad, episode number 268. Welcome to the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast, a show for coaches who are ready to up-level their business and take their impact, leadership, and results to $1 million level and beyond. If you're ready to break through your limitations and start taking powerful action and become the seven-figure version of you that your business needs in order to grow, scale, and thrive, this show is for you. I'm your host, Amanda Karlstad, master coach, high-level business mentor and advisor, master intuitive, and business growth and scaling expert. Let's get down to business. Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's show. Today, we're going to talk about something really exciting that I know is going to serve you. And it's something that was inspired by a conversation that I was having earlier this week. And as I was thinking about that conversation and reflecting on that conversation, it's something that I realized I actually haven't devoted an entire episode to here on the podcast, at least in the form of an entire episode. I've talked about it, I've alluded to it, but really talking through some specifics, even though I have, like I said, alluded to it in other episodes, I decided that I wanted to really devote an episode for you all today because it feels like a really important conversation. And so what I want to talk to you all today about is the topic of $1 million funnels. Now, one of the things that I pride myself on in the work that we do inside of my mastermind programs with our clients, and a big part of our focus in those containers and in our business expertise in helping our clients is really helping them to create $1 million funnels within their business. And this is something that I have done for myself, that I've created within my own business. It's something that is really at the foundation of the work, like I said, that we do with all of our clients and have really helped a lot of clients with this as well. And so it is something that I can really speak with a lot of experience in. It's something that I think that we're very good at, is really creating $1 million funnels. So when I say this, I want to be clear here that this can look a lot of different ways in the business, okay? This might look like a funnel that, for example, will generate $100,000 or more in revenue per month in your business. It could also look like a funnel that has, over the course of its lifetime, generated $1 million or more over the course, and maybe this is 2 years, 3 years, whatever that time frame might look like. But ultimately, no matter what timeline we're looking at, the foundation of this is that we're able to help our clients create a funnel with the intention that it will generate and will produce over its lifetime at least that 7 figures or more in revenue. And this can happen at all stages in business, and something that I highly, highly recommend to anyone in the industry, no matter where you're at, that you really consider this for yourself, that you really consider this for your business. And what we're going to talk about today, how important this really is to your business success, especially over the long term. And so one of the reasons that this feels like a very important conversation for all of you is because what I have observed over the course of my career as a coach in my own practice, and especially with the coaches that we work with that are in it for the long game, that are in it as a career, most coaches that we work with are in fact coaching full-time in their business. They're a little bit more established in their business. They've generally been in the industry and coaching clients for usually at least a couple of years. Now, that's not always the case, but that I would say is typically the majority. And so for a lot of my clients, they've already reached a certain level of success where they come to work with us. They're really ready then to scale, to really take things to the next level. We also have another group of coaches who generally are more in the process or have maybe more recently transitioned into their business and are really looking to build a foundation in their practice. So I share this because this conversation is relevant to you no matter kind of which bucket you fall in. And it's something that is really critical to your business success as a coach. especially if you truly want to reach that multiple 6, 7-figure level and beyond, which I know so many of you do. The truth is that you must have some level of $1 million funnel that is working in your business. And I want to reiterate again, this might look like a funnel that generates $1 million in a year. This could be a funnel that generates $1 million in a month. It might also look like a funnel that generates $1 million or more over the course of a couple of years. And so one of the things that I think is really important to talk about here is that our industry, the coaching industry, likes to very much glamorize and pedestalize only what is generated in a year. And so what I mean by that is when you look at let's say a 12-month cycle, it's looking at what revenue was generated or brought into the business, what cash was brought into the business in that time frame. And that can be a really useful data point. But what I have found is that what's also just as important is what is also being generated over the course of time, over the course of, for a lot of coaches, over the course of a couple years. Over a longer time horizon can also be, in fact, just as important as what might be generated in a 12-month revenue cycle. So the idea here that I'm offering to you is that no matter where your goals are, no matter what level you want to grow your business, the reality is that at a certain point, you are going to need $1 million funnel working in your business. And when I say the word funnel, I also want to be really clear that this will look very different for each and every business. One of the things that I talk a lot about in this podcast is how important it is to understand the nuance that exists in business, from CEO to CEO, from business owner to business owner, from coach to coach. Everybody is very unique. Everybody has unique strengths. Everybody is bringing unique expertise to the table. And what I will tell you is that because of this, there really is not just one way to grow and scale your business. This is why I work off of principles when I work with our clients and how this translates into their business. So when I say the word funnel, I'm not saying that it has to be just one type of funnel. In fact, it doesn't have to be the same funnel for each and every business. And there are a lot of variations to this. There are definitely best practices that we can leverage, but how it actually translates from business to business will look very different. So I want to be clear on that, because how you implement a funnel into your business, how you then nurture and optimize that funnel is going to be very, very important to your success. So let's talk about some of those principles here, because I think a lot of times these get lost in things like social media, in a lot of the shiny objects, what I call the shiny objects out there in the market, a lot of the tactics that you might see that are out there. And having been, again, in this industry now over the past 6+ years and working with some of the biggest businesses in the industry and having a behind the scenes look at some of these biggest businesses in the industry, as well as scaling my own business and creating multi-millions of revenue, not only in our business, but with all of our clients, what I will tell you is that the less you complicate things, the better. And this is especially if you're an established coach, and especially if you have a level of success that you've already created, that you have your real expertise that you're bringing forward. And frankly, when you've figured some things out in your business, what happens at this stage is that your time, your energy, your mental bandwidth, your resources do in fact become more limited. And the reason for that is because you are holding more. So it's very important that if you're in this phase of your business, that you approach this process in a way where you have longevity in mind, that you really take the time to consider what is your message? What is that one big thing that you really want to double down on, that you really want to thread all the way through your marketing campaign, so that if the goal was to create a funnel that would generate millions over the next couple of years, what would that be? What would that core message be? And this is a really important distinction, because one of the things that tends to happen for a lot of coaches is that there's this propensity to try and want to jump on the next shiny object, to jump on the next strategy, to jump on the next popular thing. And the intention is typically to create that next revenue injection in the business. And I will say that can definitely work in some circumstances, but the truth is that that's typically not something that's going to work over the long term. So if you're just getting into something like creating a real funnel in your business, the truth is that it requires that you slow down and really plan and prepare well before you launch it out to your audience, before you start to layer on things like paid advertising, before you even launch it to your organic audience. Because the truth is that if you want to create $1 million funnel in your business, you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to really find out what that core message is, to prepare it well, to demonstrate patience when you do launch it into the world. And after you do launch it, what's also very important is that you then learn how to discern what are the things that need to be optimized, what are the things that are working. So there's a lot of skill that's involved in this process. There's a lot of skills that it requires you as a business owner to learn to create this level of asset in your business. And just as important to that is also how you approach it from an emotional and mental standpoint. You want to be approaching this from the lens of, am I creating this $1 million funnel for the long term? Not necessarily creating it so that I can create $1 million next week, but over the course of the long term. And one of the ways that I really advise all of our clients on this is that one of the best things that you can do for your business, one of the best things that you can do for your nervous system, for your mental state as a coach, is to create $1 million funnel that is working in your business. And in most cases, I do recommend that this is on an evergreen basis. And the reason this is because most coaches, the truth is that they either don't have the bandwidth or they don't have the audience, and in many cases don't have the skill set to only be running launches in their business. There are very few in this industry that have the level of audience, that have the level of skill, that have the level of bandwidth and team support to solely rely on launches alone in their business. And generally, the coaches that are able to do this are actually very much, and I want you to hear me on this, they're very much running their launches and organizing their launches around an evergreen model. And what I mean by that is that if you look at the model they're running, in most cases, they're actually launching the same times every year. They're running essentially the same launches each and every time. They're repurposing the same assets. They're sending out the same emails. They might be tweaking some things here and there, but really the content overall is the same. And what I see is that in these cases, generally they've been doing this for some time. And so there is somewhat of a system around the launch. And this is also why it's successful. And along with that, in most cases, they also have $1 million evergreen funnels that are working in their business to bring clients in around the clock, each and every day into their business, that they then have the ability to then launch to when it happens to be launch season in the business. So this is really important to understand that no matter if you like doing launches, or maybe you prefer doing launches, or maybe that's just what you've always done, maybe that's what's gotten you here today. What I will tell you is that even with the most skilled business owners who run very large scale launches, a lot of times they're also coinciding with that. They do have $1 million funnel working in their business. And so working on an evergreen basis from a mental standpoint, from a nervous system standpoint, is one of the best things that you can do in your business. It's one of the best things that you can do for yourself as a business owner, is to have an evergreen $1 million funnel working in your business. So that, I want you to consider this, you're not starting every month at zero in your business, so that you're not wondering where your next client is going to come from, so that you're not creating new offers and new launches each and every month. That's a big one. That's a big one that I see slow down growth for a lot of coaches. So If you're in a place where you're finding yourself starting every month from zero and you're just throwing out different offers and you're doing different promotions and you're throwing spaghetti at the wall, so to speak, because you have to make money to pay your bills, my friends, this is a very hard place to operate your business from. It's a very hard place to be able to grow your business from this place. And I see way too many of you doing this, and it's not sustainable. I have worked with so many coaches who have been in this position, who are finding themselves where they're starting every month at zero, where they haven't taken the time, they haven't actually done the hard work of creating a system like this in their business, where their nervous system then is really in a weakened state, where they're not even able to operate from their most creative, from their highest, their most potent version of themselves because of that external pressure, because of the pressure to have to, just find a way to cover the bills for the month. So it's one of the best things that you can do, like I said, is to create a real $1 million funnel like we're talking about here, and to really get that working in your business. And it might be that it's not producing that level of revenue at first. In most cases, it actually doesn't. And that's okay, because it is hard. And when you create an asset like this at this level, doing the work of not only creating it, but then successfully implementing it, and then knowing how to actually successfully optimize it from there is a whole nother skill set. And it does take time. But my friends, that is time that is worth millions of dollars in revenue. It is time well spent. So let me ask you, if you knew that over the course of the next 2, 3, maybe even 4, maybe even 5 years, that right now in your business, that you have an opportunity to create a funnel that over the course of time, and maybe that's a year, maybe that's 3 years for you, putting the time frame aside, that funnel would create, that would generate, do the heavy lifting, and really support you in moving to that $1 million mark. Does that not excite you? Does the opportunity that you have right now, right in front of you, because I believe this to be true for all of you, does that truly excite you? I believe that if you're in this industry as a career, as a real expert that is delivering true value to your clients, that is contributing as a coach at your highest level, that this is some of the best time, this is some of the best work that you can do. And I think for most of you listening, I know for my clients, for myself, that this is and has been a very worthy goal. It's been a very worthy mission that I have had. It's been very worthy work that we do on a daily basis. We are in a time of immense change, my friends. We are in a time where, like never before, have we had this opportunity right now, where we have the opportunity today to contribute at the highest level, to be able to impact to the degree that is possible for each and every one of you, to expand yourself, to expand your business, to grow to levels that you might not even fully believe is possible for you right now. But it is going to take work. It is going to take dedication and commitment and courage to really go after it and to stay with it, to be able to demonstrate persistence when it doesn't work out at first, or maybe even on the second try, or maybe even the third try or more. But it's also some of the best work that I believe you can do, because it's an opportunity of a lifetime, and it's right here, right now, waiting for you to decide, to choose it, and to go after it. All right, my friends, if you would love to have my and my team's support on helping you to build out $1 million funnel in your business, like I said, we are very, very good at this. We do this day in and day out. We have generated millions and millions of revenue through $1 million funnels. We would love to support you. Go ahead and click on the show notes in this episode, or go to my website at amandakarlstadcoaching.com. There is going to be a short application. We will be bringing on a new group, our next intake of clients, very soon to help them create and implement $1 million funnels in their businesses. And we'd love to help you do this in this next year. Have an amazing week, y'all. I'll talk to y'all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the $1 Million Coach Business Podcast. If you're ready to step into the $1 million version of yourself and scale your business to 6, multi-6, or 7 figures and beyond, go to amandakarlstadcoaching.com.